What's up, fam? I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You're on my show, Fitness Fire. Every Thursday, I come right here, TeamFFLEX TV, where we talk about anything, basically, I kind of want to talk about, the hottest topics of the fitness industry, the new things going on, stuff people are asking me. We cover it all right here, all right? And today, I'm going to talk about wellness, NPC wellness, and exercises you may want to definitely consider including into your training routine. Any of you ladies out there that want to get wellness ready as we open shows back up and things start happening, people are coming. Are you going to be ready? That's the question, all right? So I'm going to cover that all for you today. But do me a favor, please. Subscribe to my channel and then share out the video if you compete in wellness. You know anybody that competes, or you know anybody that needs information for free anytime, because that's all we do right here on TeamFFLEX TV. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You are on Fitness Fire. Okay, so the quarantine days, they are somewhat behind us now, right? The stay-at-home orders lifted in most places, and we are moving forward. This means bodybuilding shows are coming back, ladies and gents. All of you that were in that span of time where things got shut down, you maybe were even on prep, all those, incidences where it wasn't as planned. Things didn't go as planned for 2020 thus far. But the cool news is, as things start opening up, shows start happening, there are going to be a lot more opportunities now. You still got plenty of time to get on the stage, get ready for this year, train for next year, whatever it is you're trying to do. Bodybuilding is back and the shows are going to happen. So what I want to cover for you today is talking about wellness specifically. I get a lot of questions about wellness. Obviously, I do a lot of content with wellness. Very fortunate to have learned a lot from, Sandy Williamson and a lot of the other top NPC IFBB judges about this division. And I know a lot of things. I've been training a lot of people for this division. So I get a lot of questions about this division. And I know a lot of people can benefit from some answers. So today I want to cover for you some exercises I think you should definitely consider having. But what I want to say right at the gate is this is not a blanket statement. In other words, the exercises I'm going to talk about today in this video, you can't just take them and do them and expect to get a wellness physique. If anybody has been watching my channel, and I hope you have, and if you're just starting, you're going to definitely see I constantly, every day almost probably, hammer how important it is that everything is custom for you and your body. All right, you and your physique, you and your goals, all these things come into play when designing a training program. Today I'm going to give you some tips and some pointers, some ideas, things to consider, but it is by no means exactly what you're going to need to get you where you want to be wellness ready. Alright, so when we talk about wellness, ladies and gents, I know that a lot of coaches, for some reason, I've seen it, I've seen a lot of compares talking about it, I've seen people saying they're going to bounce back and forth between wellness and bikini or wellness. It doesn't work like this. First thing you got to understand is wellness is its own division. It is the own wellness division. It's not bikini wellness, it's not figure wellness, and it's not wellness figure, wellness bikini. It is wellness. It is its own division, and this means that you have to fit its own criteria. Alright, with every division we got, whether it be bikini, figure, anything else, or in these women's divisions we're talking about, you have a criteria to fit. Bikini has a look, and if you fit it, you'll do good. Figure has a look. If you fit that look, you'll do good. We're talking about muscularity, symmetry, proportion, shape and size of muscles, and conditioning, posing, presentation, all these things. I could bore you guys for days with all these details. I got a lot of other videos that do that, so go check those out. But the point is, wellness is its own division, and what we really are looking at in wellness is a more muscled version of bikini when it comes down to the muscularity. This is happening slightly in the upper body, okay, and very much dramatically on the lower body, okay. The wellness lower body is way more developed, way more dense, way more thick in general than a bikini competitor physique. And I've seen people, saying, hey, they're the same thing, wellness is a little bit more unconditioned. No, it's not. Conditioning for wellness is the same as it is bikini, okay? It's across the board the same. They want to see at that same level of conditioning. What they want to see, and the major difference here, aside from the posing, is going to be the lower body development. So that's what I want to talk about today. Give you guys some ideas, you ladies and gents out here, you coaches, whatever, some ideas for stuff that you need to be doing, kind of rep ranges and other training protocol ideas you could really bring into a wellness prep. All right, so when we're talking about wellness, we're talking about that lower body being super dramatically developed compared to bikini, okay? And it's not to say bikini doesn't train hard. They do. Figure trains hard. All these divisions train very hard. And, you know, their programs are difficult, no doubt. Everybody's putting in a lot of effort, a lot of work. But when we're looking at wellness, we have an asymmetrical division here. This is actually the only division we have right now in the women's area that is like this, the women's divisions, where, okay, the upper and lower body need to be symmetrical in bikini, okay? Upper and lower body need to be symmetrical in figure in these other divisions. In wellness, they actually want to see you be a little bit asymmetrical and have your lower body be more developed than your upper by a lot. So this is the first division we have where this type of stuff's being really brought into the women's side of things, okay? And so that's important to note. You got to get a little asymmetrical. So upper body training takes a little bit less of a priority right out the gate than the lower body training does. And no, this does not mean, ladies, train legs every day, train glutes every day. This is the first mistake so many people make. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to train very hard, very effectively, and spend a large amount of your week actually recovering. Because let's not forget, muscles and all these, you know, quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, all the things you need in wellness, they're not going to be built in the gym. They are torn down in the gym. When we train in the gym, we're beating the body up so it can recover, it can grow. That's how muscles actually develop. They get fuller, they get bigger, they get stronger, is because of that recovery period. So if you train hard, you get the right threshold, and then you recover, you're going to be sitting in a really good spot where you can get some new development. Now, if we're going to talk about specific exercises, there's going to be a few that we obviously have to include. But again, I want to say, don't just like write these down and say this is your wellness glute workout. Honestly, what you should do is go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com right now, and subscribe to my free coaching trial, and you can get some wellness style workouts made for you that are custom that you can look at. I'll build them out for you. I'll show you. You have them, you take them, do whatever you want with them. It's a free trial. We do it for everybody. So if you go to the website, I'll do that for you. Otherwise, I'm going to cover some basics here for you, some things you definitely want to include, or at least consider including. But remember, everything needs to be custom for you. Every physique is different. Every exercise people need to do is different. Every rep range, every set, all these things are so different. But let's talk about it. Obviously in wellness, we're doing you know, a lot of back poses. There's this kind of quote that's gone around bodybuilding since the dawn of time that bodybuilding is won from the back. And you know, generally they're talking about the male bodybuilders, but every division these days, you know, we're talking about bodybuilding. You're building your body, you're training, you're doing all this. So if we want to rope that into bikini and, you know, figure and also into wellness, it's pretty true too. The posterior chain in wellness is definitely a very important part. We're talking about the hamstrings and the glutes really in this situation, okay? So we got to train hamstrings and glutes, ladies. No question. Anybody who's ever competed, anybody who's ever tried to get in shape, you know, you're probably doing some of that. But the point is, for wellness, you need to do it to the next level. So right out the gate, I want to tell you guys, you need to be doing more sets and more reps than you ever fathomed before to compete in the wellness division, okay? When I started loading girls up with the wellness program, a lot of them, you know, they came from bikini. I'm building out these wellness things for them. I'm building them here and there, and they're getting like 4 or 5 sets on some things. They're getting more reps than they've ever done. They're doing crazy tempos and stuff like this, and they're like, what is going on right now? I feel like I've been hit by a truck. And that's exactly how you have to train to attain this type of leg development, okay? It's actually very hard to build massive legs, build a lot of glute development, build a lot of hamstrings, quads, all that. You have to really tax these muscles to be able to do that, because, you know, truth is, our leg muscles, they're working a lot. They're always working. When we're walking, we're running, we're doing cardio. Anybody who's training legs anyway, our legs are always doing stuff. And so with that, they're a lot better at being resilient to being hit with all these different exercises and things like that. So you really got to tax them if you're trying to get super development. You almost got to think like you're a bodybuilder, like a male bodybuilder, and how hard these guys train legs to actually get a good set of legs in wellness, okay? But some exercises you definitely don't want to ignore, okay? First one I'd have to say is going to be glute bridges, hip thrusts, for lack of a better term. You can do these off a bench. You can do these off the floor. You know, you're doing it with a barbell. You're pulling it across across your hips, and you're gonna go down and you're gonna go up. A mistake a lot of people make here is they don't spend enough time under tension. And that's why when I'm programming things, I mean, I do this kind of for everybody, but I'm always having people do tempo work. I'm having them do 4 1s, 3 2s, you know, controlling the tempo of the movement down and up so that we can make sure we're fully loading these muscles, we're really taxing these muscles, and we're gonna get a response from the body. Because really, that's all we're doing in the gym, ladies and gents. When we're in here training, we're not looking to just get through the sets and the reps. We're trying to elicit a response from the body. We want to tax it enough that, again, we can leave, recover, and grow, right? And so if we do that correctly, it's going to be way more effective than just banging through some sets, banging through some reps in the gym and thinking you did your work. It's not about clocking in. It's about doing what it takes to get where you want to be, okay? So glute bridges, hip thrusts, that's a must, honestly. I'm going to say I probably don't have anyone I'm coaching for wellness that I can think of that I don't have that in. And, you know, to the degree, the amount of reps, the how heavy I want them to go, the sets, all that, that's going to be very custom. But, you know, it's safe to say you could start probably with 4 or 5 sets of some glute bridges, you know, in the 8 to 10 rep range. You might do some heavy sets, you might do some lighter ones, whatever. But you got to have this exercise in here because it is one of the best exercises for targeting the glutes, period. And it's going to really help all you wellness competitors out there get that development that you're looking for. Thrusts are not very common, you know, as much in some of the other divisions. We don't see a lot of guys doing hip thrusts for sure. You know, we see some bikini competitors doing hip thrusts, and obviously we should see that in wellness. But the next most beneficial exercise that I would say, and it could be even number 1, honestly, we could kind of interchange these two, would be barbell back squats, okay? And depending on if I have this in programs, it's gonna be different for every person, but the barbell back squat is by far one of the best compounds you can have in your routine to build your lower body, period, okay? This is how so many people start in the beginning. This is how so many beginner gains are made. This is how so many people get strong enough and they start really building on muscle in the lower body. Because when we do a back squat, right, we're not just talking about, oh, we're isolating one little part of the quad or anything like this. We are training the entire body, if you really think about it, right? Your arms are on there holding the bar, your back is supporting it, you know, your chest's up, your abs are tight, your leg, every part of your body is working, but especially the lower body. And, you know, when you start to actually get under a bar and you do a lot of reps, you do a lot of sets, you get stronger, you can add more weight, you're building up, you're going to start seeing your legs blow up, your quads start to grow, your hamstrings start to grow, your glutes start to grow. You're all of a sudden, you know, really starting to hypertrophy this lower body as you get better at doing things like back squats and different rep ranges. So definitely something you want to have. It's a staple. When you do squats, I would say definitely do them heavy, take a large amount of rest, and probably consider doing some light sets too, right? The Iron Guru Tom Platz, right? This guy's got like the most legendary set of legs ever. This dude used to spend 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day in the squat rack when he would do legs. And that's obviously not what we're going to do in wellness, but I'm just saying he really knew back then even that doing squats was great for leg development. And honestly, it's probably the oldest exercise of all time. It's probably the first one that was ever loaded with a barbell or anything else for that matter, because it's just so functional. It's definitely something you want to have in your routine. So let me remind you, we're 2 exercises down. If you guys want to get a wellness workout built for you, just go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com. Right now we do a 7-day free trial. You can get in, try out my app. We'll build you some stuff out. We can do all that for you and really show you the experience. It's the same experience we give our real actual clients, right? We take you in, we build you custom stuff, we set you up. It's a free trial the next 7 days. All you want to do is go to the website, TeamFFLEX.com, put your email in that box, and you're going to get an instant invitation. On that note, the 3rd best exercise I would have to say for wellness physiques, no matter what, ladies, you got to be doing your front squats. We just literally talked about back squats, and now we're talking about front squats. And some people might not understand the big differences here when we're talking about a back squat versus a front squat. I mean, you could say in a lot of ways, isn't it just doing the legs? Yeah, it is. But on a front squat, we actually end up targeting a lot more of the front, the anterior, the quads, right? We're talking about the quads and the front of the leg. I mean, obviously still going to get some hip action, some glute and all that, but the point is this actually isolates the quads more. And a lot lot of times when I have people do front squats, I'm gonna actually have them lift their heels. So put them on top of a beam or wear squat shoes or whatever. Again, this is all custom for physique. So if any of my clients are watching, they're like, you don't have me do that, don't freak out. There's a reason I don't have you do that. But what you can do if you have a hard time building your quads is lift your heels up and start doing front squats like that. And it actually makes you load the quad a lot more with the weight you're doing. And again, as you start to build more weight and you start to add more plates, you start to go up and you can do more sets, more reps and things like that, you're definitely going to be in a very good spot where your legs are going to start to blow up. You couple these 3 exercises up we just talked about so far, and you're going to be well along the path to already having the solid muscle development that you need in wellness. Now, obviously, you can't do these once. You can't do these twice. You're going to have to train like this for a while, and you have to build these up, and you have to do sets after sets. I mean, the squat sets alone, you know, we're talking about, again, probably 3, 4, 5 sets of these depending on you and your physique, different reps, all these things, tempos, high intensity protocols are going to shock your legs into growth. But let's go to another exercise.
1, 2, 3.
So you might wonder why I started off these things with being, you know, these kind of 3 movements being free bar movements, right? Free weight movements, doing hip thrusts and doing squats and doing back squats and front squats, you know what I mean? We're doing all these different bar movements. You might say, what's the benefit of this? And sometimes I do get clients that ask me this, and they're like, can't I just do the squat machine? Can't I do the hip thrust machine? Well, yeah, but when you do these machines, ladies and gents, anybody watching out here, you are putting yourself on a specific path, right? The bar or whatever is moving, however, whoever built it, set it up, it moves along that path, that's it. When we do free bar stuff, we do free weights, period, you allow your body to move more functionally, more naturally. A lot of times you actually get a lot more muscle growth benefit because you're gonna have a lot more stabilizers and things going on like that. Anyone who's ever used a squat machine, you know, in the gym, you just put your shoulders on, push and push and push. But hey, if you've ever done a barbell free squat, you get under the bar and you have to be centered good, and then you have to step it out, walk it out, and your body's shifting, and then you squat down, you shift it, you know, there's all these different things that go on where your body's just responding in a whole different manner. It's almost an entirely different exercise. I generally try to keep people away from a lot of machines, try to get them really good at the, you know, the big movements that we need, the compounds. That's kind of what I gave you as these first 3, but then we can add in what's called more of the isolation movements, okay? So we start moving in movements where maybe we do some machine work. We start bringing in some cable work. We're doing some stuff where we want to hit more specific things in isolation now. So we got the girth, we got the big benefit from these compounds in the beginning, and then some isolation stuff. So I'm not a huge advocate of machines. I do have people do it if I think they need it and I'm having it for specific reasons. But basically, if you're going to start getting into, you know, after these big movements, you're going to want to move into things like maybe the leg press. I'm not a huge fan of leg press. I think it's kind of easy to cheat. I think a lot of people do cheat it. I think a lot of people mess their back up because they're actually doing like almost a curl up instead of a leg press. It's just not a huge thing. I'd rather people focus on getting better at squatting and less better at leg pressing, okay? So you might consider that though. If it's good for you, your physique, you can feel it, it's working, great. Throw it in there. You know, high reps are good on leg press. High reps, heavy weights. You can do more weight than you normally could, but again, it's not like a normal movement per se where, you know, it's like a squat or something like that. It's a much less functional movement. There's not a lot of situations in our natural life where we would end up sitting on the ground pushing a car or something like that, you know what I mean? So that's another one to consider though. Other things we obviously have to take into consideration is more isolation work for the quads and stuff like that, where we're talking about leg extensions, we're talking about leg curls for the hamstring. Those machines, they can be beneficial. They're not going to ever get you the girth that you're going to get from doing these big movements like I talked about. They're never going to do that, but they can help shape it out. And so again here, you want to be doing, you know, 4 sets, 3 sets of extensions, you know, 8 to 12 rep range, different stuff like that. It's going to really be able to target your legs and your lower body overall for wellness. Now, there's a lot of less common exercises that I could not just leave out of this video. Truth be told, there's stuff that I give people that a lot of you would look at and say, what are you talking about, man? That's crazy. Like sissy squats, for example. This is very old school exercise. It got left out. You can do these things on a lot of stuff. A lot of coaches don't tell people to do these anymore. You know, there was actually some controversy for a while about knees, but hey, sissy squats are a great movement, and if you do them correctly, they're not going to cause you any issues at all, okay? So you can do them in a machine, you can do them free with just your body weight, you can do them on, you know, other machines, whatever. There's actually a sissy squat machine, you guys have seen it, where you lock your legs in and you can go down and up. Those are great. That's, you know, a more unconventional type movement, but again, just another great way to target the lower body and really bring it up. Obviously, we have to talk about different cable movements too. So there's, you know, the standard glute kickbacks and things like that. Those are definitely something you'd want to have if you're trying to shape up the glutes and things like that. And you can do them laterally, you can do them back, you can do them on angles, you can do them over across the body. There's so many variations. Again, this is the isolation stuff where it can really come into play. And with that, there's, you know, it comes down to you and your physique. What are you trying to target? Maybe you just need more upper glutes, so you're going to limit the range of motion. There's all sorts of different things. When you do these types of exercises, they should be more of the finisher types, right? In other words, don't go in the gym for your wellness workout, ladies, and start with glute kickbacks, 20 sets of whatever. It's not going to get you the benefit you need to get this actual development down, this growth and all that to happen. You got to really kind of tier your workouts out, almost like I talked about. Put the most beneficial things in the beginning. So you come in with the most energy, the most freshness, you hit them really hard, you're training hard, you're getting stronger, you're getting further, you're adding weight, you're doing more and more with these things. By the time you get to the middle of your workout, you should be pretty damn spent. Your legs should already be toast. If you didn't get toasted doing stuff like squats or doing stuff like hip thrusts or whatever, you're not training hard enough, you're not lifting heavy enough, you're not pushing it enough. And then you move more into the middle, where now you might do some machine work, some shaping work, and then you're going to finish it up at the end with your very, you know, isolated, kind of very physique specific stuff, if you will. And so that's kind of the formula. But I can't give you guys all these straight. You know, again, don't just write that down and go. Just go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com, and you can get an experience trying our free trial for free, where we will show you how to do this. I can build you some wellness custom workouts. I'll show you exactly how to train for this division if you really are curious. So go to TeamFFLEX.com, put your email in there right now. Alright, so quick general overview, ladies and gents, anybody watching right now. What you want to target all the time is these big compound movements, and then you want to move into some more, you know, specific kind of isolation, maybe some machine stuff, things like that, and then you want to do this isolation stuff. This is key, this is critical. You know, you're looking at, honestly, in a wellness type of lower body workout where you're going to be doing 8, 12, 15, sometimes different exercises. And you're looking at, you know, 3, 4, 5 sets on some things, different rep ranges, all this kind of stuff. And it really all comes down to you and your physique, okay? It's not a blanket statement. It's nothing that can just be said like, oh, do this, do that. You're not going to get the results. I think that, you know, initially the fitness industry kind of messed this up, where it was like, oh, we did this, oh, Arnold did this, oh, do that, you know, and just everybody started doing the same thing. Well, that doesn't make any sense if we understand what we understand now. With DNA tests and all this weird stuff out there, you guys know, hey, we're all different. Every part of us is unique. Everything about us is different, and that comes down to how you have to train too. So you can't just copy anybody else. You can't just do their workout. You can't just get some generic workout. You really got to be able to get into a spot where, hey, you're doing something custom for you. And that's what we've done on TeamFFLEX. That's how I built, you know, a lot of competitors' physiques with them, is just sitting there, isolating, figuring out what they need more of, what they need less of, what are we going to do to get this, what are we going to do with that, and then their compliance to it. That is huge. That is something you got to understand. If you go to the gym, for example, and you hate your leg day, you hate your workout, you know, I'm going to say it's not going to be the best for you. A lot of coaches would say, no, you're supposed to hate it. It's supposed to be miserable. No, it shouldn't be. It's going to be hard. It should be a challenge, but you should be excited to be there. You should be stoked to be there. You guys go look at like Ronnie Coleman from the old days. This dude was squatting 800 and something pounds for reps as part of his bodybuilding prep, which is not something that's ever been seen since. And that was obviously going to be miserable. That was obviously going to be hard. Tom Platt's in the gym for 3-4 hours doing legs. That was obviously going to be miserable. That was obviously going to be hard. But these guys were the most excited ever to be there. They like waited all week for leg day. They waited all week till they could get back under the bar, because it's supposed to be about growth. It's supposed to be about achievement. It's supposed to be about going from where you are now to where you want to be. In that process, guess what? It should be enjoyable. And the more you enjoy it, the better you're going to be. Okay? Anybody who's ever, had an off day in the gym, when you don't want to be there, the weights feel like they're 9,000 pounds heavier, okay? So this is why at the end of the day, I'm just kind of roping this all in to tell you, everything should be always custom for you. It should be built for you. On our website at TeamFFLEX.com, we have wellness coaching programs where we can take you right now from wherever you are to wherever you want to be, get you on stage, get you where you want to be. So definitely check that out at my website. We even have a quiz that you can do to really figure out which program is the best for you, and we'll be able to help you guys with that too. Again though, at the very least, if you made it this far in my video and you have not subscribed to my trial, you are crazy. Please go do it. TeamFFLEX.com, and I'm telling you to do this because I want to help you. It's an email. Just put your email in. It's going to instantly invite you to the app. We'll get you set up just like one of our regular clients, and we'll help you get where you want to be. And really, at the end of the day, you don't put your card in, you don't put anything in. You can literally come in there and just rip me off, take some wellness workouts, and be on the road, and I'd be happy because it's going to help you. It's going to get you further, and then I'll see you on stage eventually with one of our competitors next year, all right? So at the end of the day, hopefully you got something out of this. It gave you some new ideas. It gave you some, some information that could be helpful. Again, if you want the full deal, go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com. Thank you guys for watching Fitness Fire. I'm Ryan Milton. I'll be back tomorrow for Gains the Clock Q&A, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're here every day. Share out the video. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.